Good evening, good evening. This is Lauren Dew, and I'm welcoming you wherever you might be. And I'm so glad that we have people that come from the different countries. Uh, I don't say anything special about anyone, but it's amazing when people do show up from New Zealand and South Africa and England, of course, and different other parts of the world. Glad you're here. Tonight we're going to look at something that I think is rather interesting I wonder if anybody has realized that what's happened to America. Possibly, we don't know, but the patterns in the Bible and the prophecy in the Bible and the interpretation of the various prophecies, the dark secrets that God knows and looks at and interprets. People's behavior is amazing. But understand that in the Psalm, it tells you very clearly that a nation that forgets God is turned into hell. And I've been hearing that for a long time about America as we've seen the changes day by day, week by week change and carry on, and all the stuff so called save people. Some save people do. And of course, as I've shared, uh, the whole thing about judgment starting at the house of God and spreading abroad really brought it to a head again last year. So we look back and say, well, what else has America done like the pattern in the Bible? And so if we look at that, I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying it's not. You can make your own choice. But I find it most interesting if you'll read First Samuel and see what I'm saying or what I am actually suggesting or intimating to you, intimating to you. It is intimate. All of this is unfortunately, and some people are so stuck on intimacy that they think they know, but they don't. Moses was intimate with God, intimate. Abraham was, and on. But look here, what God said to Samuel. Now, if you're reading, I'm going to read out of my Bible here, this 8th chapter, and I'm going to read verse 6. But the king displeased Samuel when they said, "Give us a king." So Samuel prayed to the Lord. Now that's verse 6 over this verse 7. Look what he said in verse 7. And the Lord said unto Samuel, Hearken unto the voice of the people, and all that they say unto thee, for they have not rejected me, I'm talking about the Lord, but they have rejected me. So they didn't reject Samuel. They're really rejecting the Lord, that I should not reign over them. And if you try to compare and look at the behavior of America and all that's been happening, and over the last few years, and the behaviors and going from one to the other, I don't know. All I know is that if you look at even just think about what happened with Samuel, God told him who to anoint to become king, and then he did it. And the Saul couldn't even get 2 or 3 assignments down before he just flaked out and disrespected God, disobeyed God, put the nation at great jeopardy, and on and on. And then was so upset with the man that came to, had to soothe him when those evil spirits took over. Just keep watching watching the behavior in our governments. Watch and see what's happening. And I'm telling you, if you aren't in the right place now and you get caught in one of those other places that you really shouldn't be in because of either meddling or because uh, your numbers come up from the enemy, man, it's time to get into the ark. Get there before that all happens. Come on and seek the Lord. Because I'm telling you, you think about it, the behavior. If you study it out, you'll say, this is kind of interesting. There are other patterns that we're going to share with you in the Bible. And look at where we are today. I was just appalled at a couple of things that just happened yesterday, day before, and how the planes collided. We haven't had a airplane crash in many years, but we did the teaching just the other night on the transference of spirits, and it's like I don't believe it's a coincidence. I don't think it could be a coincidence that this plane just happened to crash in what is it, Potomac in Washington, and all what's going on there, and who's there now versus who wasn't there all these years. Something, all I can say, folks really better need to wake up. That's your choice, And I don't mean the woke stuff. I'm talking about the real stuff, the thing that God has given us to guide us and to understand where we are and where we're going and just how soon he's going to get back here. And it's not very long. And I believe, if it's 20 years, 10 years, even 5 years. Anyway, if you're not in the right place, uh, send me an email. I'll be glad to talk to you about the plan of salvation, how to get in place so that you're secure. Because if it all comes down and you're not ready, you're not going to go anywhere. You'll be with all those people that are going to say, well, telling some of their pastors that will be here too, and their apostles and prophets and evangelists and on and on. They're going to be saying, well, why are you still here? And then they'll be wanting to fight, and then they'll be wanting to kick behind, and just on and on. But come on and get into the like Noah tried to tell people. I mean, he did. He told them, I'm building an ark. That's how big it is. I'm not sure we obviously don't know what his discourse was, but we got room. And look how many people took advantage. And I think that's going to be kind of like what's coming when Jesus comes. Because Jesus said, will he find faith? Well, Samuel did his job. Saul did his job. Jesus did his job when he got here and he left. Are you doing your job? Are you fulfilling your assignment? Are you still caught in the mess? That's all for today. Just something to think about, and want to be sure that you are right with God. Bye bye.